What's up, y'all? It's Mary D. Spate, and it's all sports all the time. I got my homegirl here with me, Lala. She finna talk to y'all. She is a professional basketball player playing overseas. So we're going to kind of tap in and see what that life is like. So, Lala, what's popping?
What's good?
How you feeling?
I'm good. It's
all
great.
right. Got
Lovely outside.
Lovely outside. Sunny California.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Got a couple questions for you. We're going to talk to you a little bit. Get you to possibly drop some seeds into the next generation. So let's see what we got going on. One question I do want to ask you, because you play overseas, right?
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it to get a contract overseas?
To get a contract overseas, it really depends on what you did during college. Your skill set. It goes down to your height, to your weight, what you can do and what you can bring to a team, as well as what that team is looking for. So you might be a whole package for one team, but for another team, you just might be something they're not really interested in. So it all depends on who you are, your position, and what you're about. So everybody's different.
So if they're not looking for a guard, it's just not.
It's just not gonna happen. Yeah, exactly.
Is it like something that you did yourself, or did you have to do the same things, like get an agent and all that to actually?
So for me, it was easier because after college, my coach, he was like, "Do you want to play overseas?" I was like, "Yes," and he said, "Okay." And he and an assistant coach, shout out to Coach Angie and Coach Kevin,
Hey.
shout out to y'all. They hooked me up with another coach who was a part of an agency, who worked for an agency, and the head agent, Lorenzo Galati, who is still my agent now, 3 years later. He came to me, and basically what you do is you have a highlight tape, and they send it to your agent. The agent says, "Okay, I want to represent this person, or I don't want to represent this person." In my case, he said, "I do." And basically, then they make you a whole profile, like as if it's like MySpace. You got a picture, you got a bio, you got your they call it a resume. So when you go to overseas, everybody has to have a resume, and just like a link with like your highlights, your stats, all your accolades and things like that.
Portfolio type
exactly
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said your college coaches helped you, and it depends on what you did in college. So what college did you go to?
I went to Florida A&M.
Florida A&M.
HBCU. Yes,
Fam,
sir.
you represent. I know it's a lot of alumni fan be in the comments now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So what made you choose FAMU?
Man, actually, FAMU chose me.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I'm from Palmdale, California. I went to Pete Knight High School, and it all started out for real. It's funny because where I am now with NCRF, I went to a Black College Expo.
Okay, shout out
to NCRF. And I was standing in line for a recruiting thing. And at Black College Expos, for people that don't know, Black College Expos is just a whole bunch of black colleges that come together at an event or an expo. And students from all around, I guess, California or the States, they come and they bring their transcripts. And they show it to colleges, and you can get accepted into college on the spot. Yeah, or they look into you and they contact you later. It's really helpful.
These are facts.
Yes. So basically, my best friend, her dad, took a bunch of us students in a van. We went to Black Expo. I was standing in line for a recruiting line because I knew I wanted to play basketball.
Right.
And I couldn't really stand in line for the recruiting line because there was this big old group of black students surrounding this one table. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, whatever, y'all in my way. I want to play basketball,
Trying to ball.
Yeah, so I'm waiting. As I'm waiting in line, a man comes up to me, an older gentleman comes up to me and says, "Hey, you play ball? You kind of tall." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "How tall are you?" I was like, 6'2", 6'3". And he's like, "Okay, cool. Like, write down your information and all that." I wrote down my information, stood back in the line for recruiting. That was it.
Right.
3 months later, I get a call from Florida A&M, their assistant coach. We talked on the phone for about 2 hours. He says, "We've been watching you. We'd like to know if you want to come on a visit to Florida A&M. We're the Rattlers." I didn't know what a Rattler was. I didn't know what an HBCU was. I just knew it was in Florida. He said Florida A&M. I said, "Florida? I'm in California. Florida's like, yes, like let's do it."
I'm going to Florida. I don't care.
Exactly.
What an experience.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah, like I want to go. I need to talk to my mom, but I want to go. And then he's like, wait, I'm not done. We'd also like to offer you a full ride scholarship.
Oh, full ride.
I said, what? After talking to him for 2 hours, ran downstairs. I told my mom. She started crying. Everybody might have it's 6 of us kids. So I have 5 brothers and sisters, and we're all dancing and laughing and hugging. And I got the video, so old, it's on Facebook somewhere. But yeah, so that's how it happened. And I went on a visit to Florida A&M by myself. It was my first time on a plane. I think I was 18. I was 18 years old, and they treated me like family. I learned what Southern hospitality was. It was beautiful. The coach, she was like, yes, good eating. The coach was like a mother to me all 6 years of college that I was there. And even after she left.
6 years. We're going to have to talk about
Yeah,
that.
we'll get to that.
So FAMU, you went to the Black College Expo, HBCUs. You said you didn't know what an HBCU was.
did
So
not.
that means you were looking at other schools because you said you want to play basketball. So
Yeah.
were you looking at any other schools?
Yes, I actually, because I'm from such a small city, not many people know about Palmdale, California. And I did great in high school. I think I averaged like 20 and 18.
Oh, snap.
I was the tallest girl in the league. I was MVP 2
Ooh.
times in a row. I
Yeah,
was the captain 2 times, like junior, senior year,
Tell 'em.
sophomore year was
Google
varsity.
me.
Like it was cool and I loved it. And I didn't know much basketball, honestly. I started basketball in high school, not even knowing how to do a layup correctly.
Oh, wow.
And my coach, he just taught me fundamentals, and it just came to me naturally. And I worked hard every summer. I was in the gym. I was in the summer league, all that, and I got better.
butt.
Yeah, I got better, and it was for me.
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much like how I got into basketball.
Yeah.
Really.
So what schools were you looking at when senior year came? You over here dominating MVP,
Yeah.
doing all that stuff. Like, if you didn't know about HBCUs, who was you kind of like? Was it UCLA, USC?
Okay, so it was like a USC. I have a USC family. I have uncles that are Hall of Famers, football players, USC. But then once I learned more about colleges, I was like, okay, you gotta have these grades. I also graduated 3.8 GPA.
Okay.
Yeah, but my
stop.
the SAT scores weren't scoring. It was like average. You need to way higher. So I was like, okay, USC probably out of the question. But let me do this. So what I did is I just sent my Huddle account to coaches everywhere. I started Googling colleges I want to go to, found the coaches' email, and I got a lot of responses back. And one college I decided I actually wanted to go to before I got the call from FAMU was Florida State. And
you was going to Florida regardless. It sound like
I wanted to go to Florida.
You was gonna find your way to Florida.
I prayed on it. God, please let me go to Florida, because like Cali, Florida, very similar. The weather is definitely important to me. So yeah, that's what happened. And I found out once I got to FAMU that Florida State was literally down the street from FAMU, like 2 minutes.
So you made it there some kind of way.
I made it there. and it's funny because later I realized that I got an email back from Florida State's coach, and she said, "Hi, I love your highlight, but we unfortunately already have signed with Center, and we won't be able to, but good luck."
Sounds like the same thing as getting a contract overseas. If you don't fit that package.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were already full, and I was like, wow. She said she liked me. She said she watched it, you know. And during school in Florida, we ended up practicing in Florida State's gym a lot, in their practice gym, not the arena, in their practice gym. But yeah, it was great. I was like, wow, I could have been at this school, but everything happens for a reason. So I'm really glad I went to FAMU, because even the Florida State students would come over to FAMU for like the parties, for the food, for the lifestyle, the events and everything. So I was where I was supposed to be.
Okay. So you at FAMU,
Yeah.
right? You made your decision. You got the full ride scholarship. You there. How was that? How was your experience? Like balling in college, balling at a university. What are they? D1?
Yeah, the D1.
D1, balling in D1. What was that like coming from Palmdale?
Oh man, it was a culture shock. First of all, I would say the first thing I noticed was that I didn't know who I was. I wasn't really accepting my blackness. And when I say my blackness, I mean like my hair. Coming from Palmdale, and it's a lot of like mostly like Latinos and blacks, right? But growing up, I was taught in school, if you wear afro, that means your hair is nappy. If you show your natural hair, it means you look nappy. You go outside with your hair not done, it's like you look nappy, you know. So that was something that was like, right? That was something that was like shunned on, yeah. So once I went to Florida A&M, my first year, I see girls walking around with afros. I'm like, they're beautiful. Like my fro just as big as hers. My fro bigger than hers. Like, let me try, you know. So I stopped wearing braids. Actually, it wasn't right when I got there. It was like probably a year or two after, because I thought I couldn't wear my fro unless I couldn't wear my hair unless it was flat iron or pressed or like straight. So I told one of my teammates, who was like a big sister to me, shout out to Kenya. She was like, she was like, don't get a perm. I was like, no, I'm gonna get a perm because my hair is too crazy. Like I can't control it and it's humid.
Oh no.
And it's bad. And she's like, please don't do it. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I did it. I got the perm. I came out the salon slaying and all this. I was like, I look good. My hair was down my back, all that. And then a year passed and the new growth started coming back. And now I got like straight strands after I washed my hair and I see my curls coming. I'm like, this is ugly. This is ugly. So summer of my sophomore year, going into junior year, I want to say, cut it off. I did like the big chop. Cut it off. And I went into like, you know, I'm tired of paying people money to do my hair. $250. What the fuck? I know I'm getting financial aid, but girl, $250, $180 to do my braids, I'm gonna learn myself.
Right. And
so I did. I learned how to braid my own hair and do my own hair. And even though it was short, they was short. It was short. I did it and, you know, grew back, and I learned to love myself through that and really just accept myself, accept my blackness, accept my naps, my curls, my kinks, and all that for what it is. And it's beautiful. It's a crown.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big to accept yourself, find yourself at an HBCU. You saw yourself at that HBCU.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk basketball. Let's talk about all sports all the time. You at the HBCU, you balling now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Talk about, you know, being a student athlete and having to balance that practice schedule, and then still going to class and studying and still like, come on now, we got to be honest. I know you was functioning like. So,
oh yeah.
How you flow through that?
Oh yeah. See, everybody built different, but I'm built.
Oh.
Yeah. So no, freshman year it was a difficult adjustment. How our schedule was, it was like 5:30, especially preseason. Preseason you're gonna go hard, so it was 5. We wake up 5:30. We're on the track
in the morning. For basketball,
and it's humid and it's like 80 degrees outside in the morning at 5 a.m.
in Florida. 80 degrees in the morning at 5:30.
That's why we had to go that early, because later on it was 90 and sunny. Yeah, it hurt, didn't it? Imagine my chest running on that track. Yeah.
You can't fake an asthma attack. No,
I tried. I said, oh, my ribs. They said, it's just because you're out of shape. Keep going. I said, oh, my God.
That sounds like something I would have said. I'm a coach, too.
It was bad. But, yeah, I learned how to deal with it. So it started 5:30 on a track. We ran a mile. Well, we warmed up. Did some other, like, sprints. Ran a mile. If you don't make the mile, you got to run another mile. Now I'm just like, what makes you think that if I can't make the first mile, I'm going to make the second mile, coach?
That's encouragement.
To me, I feel like it was a consequence, but when I grew up, I was like, you know what? It's just, you're just getting in shape.
What was the time?
Ooh, okay, so the post players have to make 7:30. 7 minutes, 30 seconds, and the guards have to make 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's reasonable.
Be quiet. You're a track coach. I don't want to hear it. It was crazy. And one day, I was so proud of myself. They're calling out the times. I was coming around that last curve, almost there. They talking about 7:20, 7:25. 7:26. I got like 3 steps left. I don't know how I get across that line. I Superman that thing. 7:34. Lala, you got another one. I said, coach, hurt.
That hurts.
My heart.
That hurts.
And ever since that day, I gave up. I never got better than 7:34, but I was proud of myself. I was so proud of myself because that junk was hard.
Dang, so in the morning you just ran 7:34 and then
had to run another mile.
You had to run another mile.
Another one.
So it's 2 miles at 5:30, so it's probably like 6 something, right?
And then it's another one.
Yeah. Then what? You get the rest, right? You ain't got to go to class. Please tell me you ain't got to go to class.
Oh, I had class at 9. some of my teammates had class at 8, so sometimes they get to leave early because sometimes we get to 7:30 and they got to go home, shower, and come back. But I had class at 9, so I got the whole workout, and then I had to rush home, get ready, and come back.
Did you eat?
Yeah, I was pretty good at like grabbing some oatmeal on the way, or like, oh, I'm not gonna starve. No, I'm the type that always got snacks in the bag. Like, anybody hungry? You hungry? I got something in here. Let me check. I'm that type. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't starve, but like time management was definitely, it was a big hitter. It's like it's a hit or miss. Like some of my teammates got it, some of them didn't, and the ones that didn't get it didn't stay long.
Oh man, so time management. Remember that. So. It's like 9. You at class. How many you got? One class and then a break, or you got? What's the rest of the schedule?
Okay, like? Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, classes are 55 minutes. Tuesdays and Thursdays, since it's 2 days out of the week, they're an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah. So I had 3 classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mm-hmm. And the athletes get priority when it comes to choosing classes because we have practice. Mm-hmm. So everybody had to have their classes done by 3:30. Depending on your major, some people had to come a little late, but you don't want to be the ones that come late. It's not a punishment, but you just miss out and got to rush and things like that. But everything was done by 3:30. And so, yeah, go to practice. We had a little break in between, get some lunch around 12. Be careful what you eat because you're going to be running later. So it was like that. And then went to practice. Practice for 3 hours and then had weights afterwards. And after weights, it was study hall. Every week, you had to have 8 hours of study hall.
8 hours of study hall.
It sounds cool until you busy and you tired.
Oh.
But it's like, we learned how to finesse it. I'm not going to tell you how for the high schoolers. Y'all do your study hall. But you get the...
You ain't gonna give them the juice?
They'll figure it out.
The
they going to figure it out.
They can't get
they going to figure it out just like we figured it out. Yep.
Okay. So then study hall and then that's it. So you done by what time?
9, 10. And you got to get up again at 5:30.
Okay, at least you got study hall. Because I was going to say, when you doing your homework?
Yeah, you do your homework. That's why we have study hall. And you got to sign in and it clocks your hours. And when you come in, when you leave, and do not play about that. Like, it's very difficult. Okay. But, yeah.
Interesting. So what was the overall experience of playing college basketball? I know we talked before, you're a homie, so I know I heard you got hurt.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what it was like to get hurt. Wait, you told me you sprained it twice?
I didn't sprain nothing.
Hurt? You broke it?
Tore.
Mm-hmm. What you tell you?
So let me tell you. Okay, so
talk about it.
let me whew, Jesus.
Don't have no flashback.
the trauma. No, I'm good. So yeah, my sophomore year, which was 2016, I tore my ACL, and I had to get surgery. I was out for 9 months, and yeah, it was difficult, but I had a great trainer. Shout out to Adrian.
Great trainers.
Yeah.
Trainers come in handy.
Yeah, I had a great trainer. She took care of me. Like the day of my surgery, she was like, "Come on, we got to do rehab. Bend your leg." I said, "I can't bend it." Like, are you serious? I still got anesthesia still in my body. Bend it. I'm like halfway there. Like, girl, are you serious? Come on. But she got me back really, really fast, really good. Mm-hmm. And I was able to bounce back. In my junior year, I was better than I was my sophomore year.
Wow. Mm-hmm. You said you was out for 9 months.
Yes.
What man, like, so
mentally,
that trainer had to be amazing, because what's that mentality like? You can't play.
Yeah.
What you here for, right?
Yeah.
In the first place, what was your mentality like while being benched?
Pretty much.
Just on IR. I say IR. I don't want to say benched because it's
what is IR?
Injury reserve.
Oh, okay.
No.
We just call it like red shirt, medical red shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean same thing.
No, well, different terms.
Because I wasn't benched. Don't be going around talking about I benched.
See, that's why I didn't say that.
Come on,
I wasn't benched.
But yeah, it was definitely difficult. But I told myself that I was gonna stay me. I was gonna support my teammates. I was gonna stay positive, because moping around with, I already got a limp leg and a brace that go from my thigh to my ankle.
Oh snap! That's a big brace.
Yeah. It was bad, but I just wanted to still be me, and I didn't want to be that Debbie Downer for the people that are around me. Didn't want anybody to feel bad for me, and I just stayed focused. I knew what my goal was, and I needed to get there as soon as possible, and That's what I did. So every practice I was there. We had practice at 6 a.m. I was there cheering them on. I had to get up. It was hard to.
You didn't have to work out. You was there.
No. I was doing therapy on the side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not just sitting. My coach didn't play that. She's like, you better do some single leg squats or something. Did not play. Trainer did not play. So yeah, I was doing something.
Right.
But yeah, I was cheering them on, and I was there for them, and they were there for me as well. And when I got back, I had to work my way back slow, but eventually I got there and I got stronger. And I started when the season started. I was ready, and I played better than I did my sophomore year.
What happened the second time?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So so junior year, I was great. I had to play with a whole ACL brace. I kind of like, it was squeaking and stuff. I needed some oil.
WD-40.
My teammates hated that brace because they always run into it on the screens or something.
Right.
And they're like, oh, take it off. I'm like, no. So it's really a mental thing. Like with the brace, I felt like I needed it. And then once I took it off, I felt like I couldn't run right.
Right.
And but it was just mental. My coach was like, you just need to get knocked down one time, you'll be fine. And I was like, all right. Got knocked down. I got back up. I was like, oh, I'm fine. I was like thinking, I got screws in my knees, so it shouldn't go nowhere, right?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
You're not
It didn't.
supposed to no more.
Yeah, it's not supposed to. So yeah, I was good, but junior year was good. Senior year, it's my last year. I'm thinking I'm about to go off. Everything is good. I did great. Season and everything. It was the beginning of season, and just like the first time, it was a home game. And what happened the first time? Let me go back a little bit. What happened the first time I tore my ACL is, I was going for, it was a fast break layup. I was on defense, and I was in between two players. One's going to the basket, and the other one who's like coming down with the ball, about to, lob it over me. She goes to lob it over me. I jump to like pass it.
Block it.
Hit it out of bounds before he gets to the girl that's right in front of me, and the girl in front of me backs up into me. So I come down like on her back, and my knee goes in, and I land, and I'm down. And I'm just laying there. I don't know what it was. I never felt this pain before. So I'm just laying there. Get up. Got an MRI. A week later, you tore your ACL. All right, well, guess I'm out. So, yeah, that's how that was.
You did not take it that smooth.
I did it. I did
that
it.
for the camera.
I was depressed. Listen, depressed. No. So, yeah, it was crazy. But the second time, it was a home game on the other side of the court. I was going for a loose ball. And one of the guards came on the opposite team. She came and she clipped the side of me. And this is the other leg. Clipped the side of me. Leg went in like this. I was on the floor. I was like, not again. Like, I was like, oh. And I was like, not again. And I like hopped up. I tried to run off the court. I was like limping. I was like, ooh, my knee feels loose. Why does it feel like this? I was like, just get to the locker room. Get to the locker room. So I get to the locker room. My trainer comes in after me like, you better not ever hop up off the floor like that. Lay there until I come and see what's wrong with you. I was like, okay. Miss A, she was not playing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I get to the locker room. Before she comes in there, I'm just like, why? And I'm just like, why me? Tears start coming down. It's like real dramatic, like real emotional. One of the movie scenes, it felt like. And it was just like, so I try to like do high knees. I'm like, no, I need to get back in that game, because we were up, but we were barely up. And I'm the leading scorer. And I'm like,
snap.
I don't want to do this to my team, like, And I'm just like,
it's a lot of weight.
Yeah. I was like, not again. And it was again. Yeah.
It was again.
Mm-hmm. And so this is where this one took me longer to heal from.
To bounce back.
Because I not only tore my ACL, but I tore my MCL and my lateral and medial meniscus. So I kind of blew out my whole knee.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
I blew out my whole knee, and I didn't have as much help as I did the first time, because the trainer that I had my sophomore year was gone my senior year. So different trainers, and it's more athletes, and we had less trainers, so I didn't get as much attention as I did the first time. So I just had to remember what I did last time and just kind of like stick with it, but it was hard. And eventually I like went into a depression, because it was like the summer, I stayed home, and I'm a senior, and it's like the pressure is getting worse. It was the pressure, and it was just like, man, I'm going to graduate, what's going to happen, and I just didn't really know what was going to happen. So I had to work my butt off, because I stayed off campus now. And I was only working and I was coming home, and I did therapy sometimes, but I basically like stopped going because I worked 2 jobs. I worked at I worked at the cinema, the theater, and I worked at Lowe's in the lumber department.
In the lumber department.
I was picking up wood for men and putting it in that car. You're driving what's the little thing called?
The forklift.
Forklift. That's my favorite thing. Yep. I drive the forklift. It was fun, but like standing up all day was going home with a swollen knee. Couldn't really walk, like that. It was hard. But what came out of that is my first year, which I forgot to mention. My first year, I got a medical red shirt for my ACL that I tore. So I got another year.
Oh. Okay.
After, yeah. So that I knew I had that, and then I tore it. My other one, my senior year, and I was like, "Can I get another red shirt? Like, is that possible?" And they're like, "Well, no, you can't get 2 medical red shirts, but you did play less than 8 games. So if you play less than 8 games, you can get like a regular red shirt."
Okay.
Yeah. So I talked to the AD, and she was like, "What you can do is write a letter to the NCAA and tell them your story, and if they approve it, then they approve it." And I was like, "All right, babe." So I wrote a letter. I told them my story. I told them this is my passion. I told them, what I've been through and where I want to go, and they granted me that, and I was blessed with 2 red shirts.
Wow.
So I got my master's for free.
You got your master's for free.
Yes. So it was basically
a lot of people don't get to say that.
I know.
You got your master's
it
for
was
free.
I know. It was basically like a 6-year scholarship.
Wow. A lot of people don't get to say that
I know. Like nothing came out of my pocket at all, and that was truly a blessing. And I always say, like, if God came to me and was like, Lala, listen, sit down real quick. You can get your master's for free, but I'm gonna need both of your knees.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna keep them. I don't even want it.
You tripping?
I don't even want it. But everything happens for a reason.
Right.
So that's what went on for me.
Okay.
I got my master's in psychology, and I loved it. I loved the whole like journey of that. But it was still difficult because in a master's class, your classes are in the evening, and I still had to go to practice. I still had games. I still had to travel. I was gone a lot, man. And even my professor, the advisor, who was also my professor, he said, "I don't think you're gonna make it. We've never had a athlete in the psychology field,
right,
in their masters and being able to succeed." And I said, I'm glad you told me that, because I'm gonna do it.
Thank you for the doubt.
Yeah,
right.
Appreciate you. That's even more motivation to prove you wrong.
Thank you.
So shout out to you. I'm not gonna say his name. Shout out to you.
To you, professor.
This is for
advisor.
you, professor. Yeah.
Okay, so we got the masters now. You balled out. You balled out, right? You got the ball again. Okay.
I did, yes.
So now it's another question. You balled out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What was you looking like, your stats wise, as far as like that last year?
My very last year, I want to say was like 14 and 12 or like 15, 13 type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I asked that because like now you back on the court, so just maybe everybody wants to know why you choose to go overseas instead of playing in the WNBA, or what was do you think like going to the HBCU didn't prepare you to go to HBCU? I mean to go to WNBA, or was it the injuries? Like what happened?
So it definitely was not the injuries. I was able to run, jump, all that. Nothing held me back. I came back, and my second ACL, I came back and I played even better. So it was never like something stopped me. Double up. Nothing ever stopped me or held me back. So it wasn't that. It wasn't the injury. I would say with the WNBA, a lot of people don't know this, but it's very political. And it's like they take big schools, they take big names. And nowadays it's like, oh, how many followers do you have on Instagram? And who do you know?
That NIL deal.
Yeah, all those things. So it definitely had to do with the school, for sure.
So if it was Florida State instead of Florida,
it would be
A&M.
a better chance of.
Oh man.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, that's the biggest one. But the difference between overseas and in the WNBA is, of course, it's easier to go overseas because just like basketball, there's different leagues, different divisions, and things like that. And I did want to go to the WNBA eventually, before I knew exactly what it was about, which is the politics and everything. And now, I want to say 3 years later, but I've been playing overseas for 3 years, going on my 4th year.
Okay,
this
that's a
year.
vet. You a vet?
Am I?
Shouldn't you be a vet by now?
Yeah, I'm a vet. I'm a vet for sure. Yeah, I think. But I know people that have been playing 9, 10 years. Them vets. But now that I have friends that are in the WNBA and some who've played in the NBA and been in the drafts and the combines and things like that, they're like, hey, there's thousands of girls trying to get into 144 spots. There's 12 teams, 12 players. And that's difficult. So don't beat yourself up if, you don't feel like you're not good enough.
I don't think they heard that. You should look at them and say that part again. There's what's just the thousands of girls trying to numbers by them one more time.
Thousands of girls trying to get into 144 spots. So don't beat yourself up. There's other positions, other places that you can go, which is overseas. And people don't know this as well. It's more competition overseas as well.
That was about to be my next question.
Yeah.
So
depending on the division, of course.
Okay, I was going to ease into the competition. So where have you played overseas, or where do you play now?
Well, so I played in Czech Republic. I played I played in Belgium, France, Slovakia, Turkey, and Spain was the last country that I got back from in April.
Okay, Spain.
Yeah, I love Spain.
And you say the competition is more? Let's get
depending on where you go. Every country is different. France is the most competitive.
France?
Yes. France is,
That's interesting.
Yeah, and if you ask people...
I would have thought Spain. I don't know why. I would have thought Spain.
Well, Spain... yeah, it's France. It's France. I'm telling you, it's France. Every day. Every practice. So, yeah, France. And if you ask people overseas, like, oh, why is France one of the top or most competitive countries? Say because there's a lot of black girls, and black girls are physical. And so once I heard that, I was like, I'm gonna go there. I want to go. I love being physical. Right. A lot of times, in college, I get fouls called on me because I'm bigger, And it was just like, man, I barely touch the girl, but she can come and smack me beside the head, and it's nothing, right? Okay, so if I do the same thing, then it's gonna be a problem.
What? Right.
It's gonna be a problem, right? So, yeah. I went to play in France, and it was lovely. And my teammates, they beat me up, and I beat them up. And it was just like, I came home I still got a scar on my eyelid from one of my teammates. They just go hard, and it's so competitive. And every other country didn't play as hard as France. So I got that personal experience at France.
So France was the toughest.
The most competitive, yes.
Competitive.
The highest competition.
What was your favorite country to play in?
Ooh. I would say France for the competition, Spain for the weather and like the hospitality. Because French people, they're not nice. They're not nice. They're so blunt and they're so real, and I love them for that. But when it comes to hospitality, you're the new kid, and it's like they're not gonna be like, oh, hi, how are you doing? And like, what is this girl here for? Oh, she wants to take my place. Like something like that. And it's like, yeah, I'm here to take your place. It's very competitive. Like just like college, you compete against your teammates for a spot in the starting five. Overseas, you compete against your teammates for playing time.
Right.
So if I'm going against a 5 and it's 1-on-1, I'm not letting you score a basket. We not friends, baby. That's anywhere. That's any division of high school, college, whatever. You got to compete.
Right, for that spot.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that. All right. So, what has been your motivation to keep you going? I mean, going from balling in high school to balling in college, tearing both knees, getting rid of both knees.
Got them back.
You're getting them back. And then going through your master's degree while playing and traveling, and then going overseas. You're away from family. What's your motivation to keep going?
Honestly, I love basketball. I love to travel. I love to meet new people. I love to learn new cultures, new languages. My motivation is just freedom. That's what I've always wanted to do, and I've always been the type to be like, I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do.
Interesting.
And since I was young, I said I want to go overseas. I want to get my master's. I want to become a doctor, and that's my next step.
Check.
I wanted my PhD in psychology. I got my master's. I want my PhD. And I looked into it, trying to do it overseas, but the major that I want at the school, they don't have the. I want to be a sports psychologist.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, they don't offer over online, so I couldn't do that. I have to actually go to class. So when I'm done with overseas, that's exactly where I'm going. Yeah.
When you're done, what you projecting that to be next year?
See, people ask me that all the time, like, "Oh, how long you gonna think you gonna stay?"
Let me just ride, like, dang, I just got here.
Let me tell you my answer. My answer is until I'm satisfied.
I like that.
So I might be satisfied next year. I might be satisfied in 2 years, but then again, there's life. And then there's age and there's, other things. And I want kids. I want a family. I want to have a career where I can go home, chill with my kids and my husband, and we go to the beach, do stuff like that,
Yeah, the married life.
Yeah.
I know what it's like. It's
It's pretty good. And I have friends or teammates that, I had a teammate who, she traveled with her kids. She was Canadian and French. And so she had, what is it called? Citizenship.
Dual
in France.
citizenship.
Dual citizenship in France. And so she had 2 kids. She was like 32 when I played with her. And her kids would be in the gym running around. They were like, 5 and 6 or something like that. So she had them for a while. And they know they're bilingual. They love basketball. And she's still in France. Like, she spoke
we'll probably
French.
See those kids in a few years.
Yeah.
With that experience, they'll probably be balling somewhere.
No, for sure. And their mom was a baller. Shout out to Steph.
Right.
Her mom was a baller. Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw that and I was like, wow, that's amazing that she can have 2 kids, not 1, but 2 kids, and come back and still play basketball. But I thought to myself, like, is that what I would want to do?
Right.
And I was like, I don't know. But then again, I was like, well, I have a different story. I still want to get my PhD. And I love my family, and I wouldn't want to like take my kids away from their family, but it's not about them.
Yeah.
So it's about us. So I think,
with you.
yeah, I know, right? I don't know. So I mean, whatever God wants for me, honestly, I can't really say what's gonna happen in my future, or what exactly I know is gonna happen. I can just say I'm gonna play until I'm satisfied. And afterwards, I'm still going to be involved with basketball, but it just won't be overseas.
You going to coach or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
To the wheels fall off. I feel it.
To the wheels
fall off. To the wheels. I'm going to ride it to the wheels.
Something like that. Off. I mean, sports is going to be in my life forever.
Well, yeah, sports is, sports is a lifestyle, you know? Yeah. It doesn't matter if you still playing or not. You still going to have a certain mentality to say, I got to be here on time.
Exactly.
I got to give my all.
Exactly,
I have to be a team player. Like, so, yeah, I feel that. So, if there is something on your mind or in your heart that you would like for the next generation of young basketball players to hear, this your time. What would you say?
Okay. I would say to y'all, honestly, keep God first, for one. Keep God first. And don't ever give up on yourself. Be your own cheerleader. Don't expect people to cheer you on, to pick you up when you're down. Pick yourself up. And also fight. Fight for yourself. Fight for what you believe in and go hard for it. Like, be 10 toes down for yourself, and don't ever expect somebody else to have your back. You got to have your own back just in case, for sure. And just go hard in everything you do. Take it seriously, especially with sports, because you not only learn about basketball, but you learn discipline, you learn accountability, you learn communication, you learn life skills, and you take that with you as you grow up. So everything you learn from your coaches to your teachers to your parents, take that with you, because when you get older, it's going to be somebody looking up to you, asking you the same questions that you're wondering right now.
I say that all the time in my poem.
Yeah.
No, for real. That's good. That's real talk, though. For real. That's good information, good advice. A couple more questions though. One-on-one, how much do you think I beat you by?
-2. You look kind of strong, but I mean, I'm gonna give you a -2.
-2.
-2.
You wildin'. We're gonna do a part 2, and we're gonna boss you some kind of way. We're gonna show this.
I got a gym. We can go to the gym.
Watch for part 2. Who would you play? Who would you like to play against? I'm not trying to start no rivalry and nothing like that.
Yeah.
But like, if you just had that opportunity to post up with somebody in the WNBA, current, past, or even somebody that we don't even know about overseas that we should check out, who would that be?
Okay. Okay, so first, I like to say Liz Cambage. She is funny because I do like runs sometimes at USC with some pros, some ex-pros, some former college basketball players. It's real basketball, great IQ. It's not no like park pickup balls. We really, hoopers. We all hoopers, right? So last week I went out because I was coaching, and we went to Arizona with my team, and the run that was scheduled, they had like a special guest, and it was Liz Cambage. And I was like, I could have been there, but I'm here with y'all, talking to our players. I'm here with y'all. I could have been there. And yeah, I was like, dang, it's just that close. I could have, because she's physical and she's tall, and I don't play people that much taller than me, maybe 6'5", but like somehow always have like the upper hand, whether like being stronger than them or something. And so, like, I love a real competition, So if you're going to block my shot 3 times, I'm going to get the ball back 3 times. And it's something going to go, something happening. So
I like that.
I'm not just going to, like, back down. So she's probably somebody that I would like to play against. She's spicy, and I'm spicy too. So, yeah, I would say her for sure.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good. That's good. I think that's all I got. That's all the questions I had.
Okay.
You already gave them advice. All right, let me do a close.
What are you doing?
I'm just being a weirdo. Don't mind me. That was for them to cut out, because I did all that. So that little clap right there, Darko, you can cut that. No, I'm gonna close it. No, because I was thinking. So I'm saying, like, just chop that up.
When you see him clapping his hands, cut.
What are you doing? All right, you guys. You've been here with Mary D. Spade and my girl Lala. We gave y'all a lot of advice. I hope something has been said to help you with your journey in being the type of student athlete that you are and whatever goals that you have. Check us out on NCRF TV. This is All Sports All the Time.